What's going on, guys? Piluk Hockey here, back with another video. I haven't been making videos for the past week or so, I think it is. I have been really sick. I appreciate the messages. I posted on my community tab that I really wasn't doing well. I'm still not doing the greatest. I'm getting better as the days go on, but I really wanted to try to start making videos again. I'm feeling up to it, so hopefully this will continue. I won't hit a lapse here, and I want to just make some videos. So I'm going to be talking about Taylor Hall, because the trade hasn't happened yet, but with my luck, I'll be halfway through this video, I'll get a notification, and Taylor Hall is going to be traded, and I'm going to have to make a whole nother video. But basically, I wanted to give my thoughts based off of some information that's been coming out based off of the last 24 to 48 hours. So, of course, Elliotte Friedman and Chris Johnston have been on this like a lot. If you don't follow them on Twitter, you definitely have to check them out. Pierre LeBrun's been on, I'm sure Bob McKenzie as well. But I've been really focusing on them because they've been getting a lot of really good, unique information. The last time that we on this channel have talked about Taylor Hall, I was saying, you got to look out for Colorado and Montreal, but it looks like there are a few teams in on Taylor Hall, but it looks like Arizona has been named the favorite. Basically, let's just look at it this way. It's a crazy situation. The Devils coming into this year were looking like a great team on paper. They had a lot of unique talent. They had a lot of talent that was untapped potential, possibly, but it's just not working. They made a lot of big trades. They made a lot of big moves, some big signings. They've invested futures to try to win now. And now they're going to have to try to recoup a lot of that with this Taylor Hall trade. Now, let's just look at it this way. He got scratched in Colorado. Immediately, everybody's like, okay, the Avalanche are a team that are right there in the race for him. It would make a ton of sense if he just got traded to the Avalanche. Boom, he'll just play their next game. He's right there. He'll just move his stuff over to the next room. The whole... Taylor Hall's bags are packed in the hallway by itself, made it seem like he was gone, regardless if it was just to the next dressing room or to another place. And then it didn't happen. Then Elliotte Friedman tweeted out again, no surprise that Arizona, Taylor Hall will not be playing. And again, that's another team that has been in the race. Everybody's like, okay, this makes sense. Maybe he's going to be playing for Arizona. He's going to get traded there. Which to me seems kind of crazy that Arizona's come out of nowhere. It's kind of like another Arizona team, the Diamondbacks. Madison Bumgarner signs a 5-year deal in the MLB just out of nowhere. Didn't expect Mad Bum to go over there. Maybe Arizona's making another big play, but in the NHL, that'd be crazy if they get Madison Bumgarner and Taylor Hall within a week's time. This is a really tough situation for the Devils to make. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is because of the packages that they're going to have to mull over might not be the greatest. Taylor Hall's having a good season, and of course his track record, especially with the Devils, MVP, he's scored a bunch of points. The track record speaks for itself, but this year he hasn't really exploded. He hasn't played, insane, but that also is because the team hasn't really been that good. But they're in a bit of a decision-making time here because they're going to have to see if they're going to get, a futures package or a now package, and we'll get to that in a second. But Chris Johnston, like I said, reported that Arizona was kind of in the lead for this. Now, according to multiple sources, the Coyotes were not offering either their last 2 first-round draft picks, center Barrett Hayden in 2018 and defenseman Victor Soderstrom in 2019. Both are scheduled to play in the upcoming World Junior Championships. Also noted here, Chris Johnston and Elliotte Friedman said that they had heard that the two teams were haggling over another Team Canada player, 19-year-old Kevin Ball from the OHL Ottawa 67s. I believe they're still the 67s. He was drafted 55th in 2018 by the Coyotes. Now, here's the thing. It also says it here. You have to assume there's more to the package, but they don't know the details right now. Is believed, however, to be more of a futures-based offer, which is what I'm saying. The offer here, if that's what it is, a mix of future picks and future star players or future guys that could be given up. Like maybe it is one of these guys that are untouchable according to the Coyotes, or guys that they don't want to give up. But it's more of a you're gonna figure out how good these guys are later. But the other thing is that there's some sources out there that apparently Elliot Friedman, Chris Johnson, and these guys are saying that there's been offers brought in by other teams that could be more of a NHL, established with control type of player package, where you're gonna get probably a high draft pick, probably a first round pick plus, a guy who's kind of a fringe prospect. Like a good one with potential, plus a player that's already with a contract and pretty well good to go right now, who's established. So you have to figure the Devils are deciding whether or not they're going to go for a futures-based package or a now-based package. But for me personally, I think it just depends. You should just go for the package that has the most talent in it. I think that the Devils don't need to worry about getting a package of players that are great right now because they're not good. Like, this team is just not good. They need to sell off some pieces. I think that they'd benefit from trading a guy like Sami Vatanen. I can't see how he would want to stick around. He's a free agent at the end of this year. Wayne Simmons' deal is going to be up if you can retain some of his salary. He's a gritty type of player. The Leafs should be interested if they can somehow fit that under the cap. And the cap, by the way, is I believe the term is prorated, but like closer to the deadline, because of the deadline, something about the cap, it doesn't, the numbers go down and you're able to fit more players in. We'll get to that once the deadline comes around. We're going to do a big special here on Andrew Piluk Hockey talking about that. But back to these offers, I'm not really blown away of these players that are being offered up from Arizona, and it's kind of the same feel on Twitter, because I thought I might have been a little bit nuts to be like, okay, like why are they fighting over some of these guys? Like, it's Taylor Hall. Like, I mean, it seems like a pretty fair trade-off, but here's the problem. This is something that I also want to get to from this article. Does anyone get to talk to him? Well, it's been reported that the New Jersey Devils have not been given permission, giving permission to other teams to speak to Taylor Hall and his agent Darren Ferris. And by the way, Darren Ferris is a very tough management agent to talk to. Like, Darren Ferris is definitely, we've seen in the past, he deals with his players a little differently. But this is something that I brought up many times, and it's brought up here. I think it's common knowledge. It's been widely reported that Taylor Hall probably does not want a negotiated contract in the middle of the season. Darren Ferris probably doesn't want that. So the Devils do have to trade Taylor Hall, but the team that's acquiring him, they could be like, hey, listen, we don't want to do this deal unless we can negotiate a contract. Well, if Taylor Hall's not really feeling where he's, getting traded to, these teams might be like, well, we're giving up all this stuff and we might only get him for half a season, So, or a little bit over, half a season. So it really is tough. You have to be careful here. So let's say the Devils go, okay, well, we'll let you talk to Taylor Hall's agent, Darren Ferris, and make sure Taylor wants to play there long term. And then they can get a contract negotiation going. I'm sure more teams would be involved. So it does really feel like Colorado and Arizona are the two teams to mess with here. But I feel like Arizona is the team that's going to be like, listen, we want to talk contract. Because if they give up all these pieces, especially with this team that's on the rise, they just got Phil Kessel. He's not having the best season, but maybe adding a guy like Taylor Hall might boost him up a little bit. You got Keller over there. They've got a pretty solid blue line. They've got a really good goaltending pairing there. So they could really be like, okay, we can sign Taylor Hall long term and keep building this team. They don't want to give up these pieces and not know if he's going to be able to stick around. So basically, he said it here too. I mentioned several times I don't believe Hall will sign during the season. New Jersey is well aware of that, but that doesn't mean the Devils won't allow a conversation if they get an offer like that. That's contingent on one. Not every team will consider that essential, but a couple might. Basically what I just said. There's teams that might not want this to go down unless there's a phone call with Darren Ferris and saying, hey, this is the contract we could offer. We have a deal on the table here. We'd like to get it done. Is Taylor Hall interested in this type of contract? Would he want to play here? We want to sign him to this amount of money. We think that he'll flourish here. This is the housing stuff. Like, they're going to bring up everything. I'm sure of it. So I want you guys to comment down below. Where do you think Taylor Hall is going to go? Is this going to happen soon? Is it never going to happen? It has to. The Devils got to move on from him. By the time you're watching this, hey, maybe he already got traded and my video is late. But I'm going to check Twitter, and if he gets traded, I'm the only one that's ever going to see this video. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. If you're new, make sure to subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Join the squad. Let's get to 7,000 subscribers. Thank you guys again for all the messages wishing me well on my recovery. I'm still doing you know, a little crappy here. I've got a bit of a cough. I might have a chest infection. I don't know what's going on, but I have just been through the ringer. I've had just about everything. But thank you guys for the support. Hopefully I'll check you guys in the next video or stream. Peace.